In today's news, 284 Media News site is live.
HLSCC celebrates its 30th anniversary and Founders Day.
More talks about medical marijuana.
RDA CEO resigns.
And Premier addresses rumors that surfaced after the resignation of RDA CEO.
Governor scolds government over RDA CEO resignation. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media at cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast, unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.
Welcome everybody. It's Wednesday, January 15th, 2020. I'm Ron Grant.
And I'm Kyla Kenesha Forbes.
Now, a wet Wednesday that is, but we
Yes.
have a lot going on. It's been a busy day nevertheless.
We are excited to announce that the 284 Media News website is now live. Log in on your internet browsers and type in www.284media.com. If you're watching us now, you are possibly watching us via our live feed feature.
Indeed.
All live newscasts can now be watched on our website. Now, stories brought to you on our daily newscast can now be found on our website. Categorized articles of local, regional, and world news can be easily found via the menu bar. Need to contact us? Worry no more. The website provides a quick contact us feature. Make sure to check it out. We, the team of 284 Media, is always pleased to provide you with your daily dose of honest and impartial news.
Absolutely. So we encourage the general public. We're excited.
Yeah, definitely
excited. To be
excited.
launching, and we encourage the general public to stick with us as they have been doing. And now they have their own website where they can access us.
Definitely.
On yesterday, January 14th, the H. Laverty Stout Community College celebrated its 30th anniversary and Founders Day. The ceremony heard speakers from across the college's history, including interim president Dr. Richard Georges, deputy chair of the Board of Governors Mrs. Fiona Forbes Vanterpool, as well as Premier Foy and education minister and former lecturer Dr. Natalia Wheatley. As a territory, we reflected on the college's history, the vision that our forefathers like the Honorable H.O. Stout and Ralph O'Neill had, and it's more evident now more than ever, Kyle, before as we look back and we see how far the college has come. Premier and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Andrew Foy, stated that the future of the H. Laverty Stout Community College is beyond imagination and that the government of the Virgin Islands will continue to support the institution where it can. He said, and I quote, "If we limit our imagination, we cannot see where HLSCC is going. This will not only be an institution for learning, but will be a gateway for education because people will come from all walks of life here, whether it is to get a degree or training," Premier Foy stated. Acting President Dr. Richard Georges stated that the institution has made significant strides and is now offering students, including those from the Eastern Caribbean, culinary and hospitality programs. He said the college's marine and maritime training was named the 2016 Center of Excellence in the region by the OECS, which proves the government's investment is good. Additionally, Mrs. Fiona Forbes Vanterpool gave a sterling breakdown of the contribution and just how far the college has come. Take a listen.
With programs beyond the associate's level, namely bachelor's and master's degrees, and also postgraduate certificates and diplomas. In so doing, BV Islanders were able to gain further education and training to advance themselves from lower to middle management positions to senior positions within both the public and the private sector. And this is a huge accomplishment for such a young institution. We have also witnessed the advent of free tertiary education for all citizens of the BVI. This is the vision of HLSCC founders: equal access to higher education for people of these Virgin Islands, recognizing that as a nation, we are nothing without our people, and that our people can do nothing without the opportunity to develop and advance themselves. 30 years later, we still have much to learn from the founders and their vision of this institution and these Virgin Islands. We must focus, as they did, on the long term to ensure that this institution continues to fulfill its mandate to provide quality higher education and lifelong learning that is responsive to the changing needs of this community, the global economy, and evolving technology.
Now, Kyla, at the end of that ceremony, there was a tree planting ceremony held on the grounds of the campus to commemorate the milestone. During the ceremony, a tribute to the late Honorable Ralph O'Neill, Member Emeritus, was acknowledged with a video depicting his life, legacy, and involvement in the development of the college, along with the unveiling of a portrait painted by the one and only Mr. Reuben Vanterpool of the British Virgin Islands. HLSCC Founding Day is observed every year on January 14th. Now, Kyla, I went to HLSCC for a short period of time and did not complete my associates there, and you also did, but you also spent some time as an adjunct lecturer. Tell us about your experience, and now when you look back at 30 years, obviously we were not even thought of at that point.
No.
But the college has served to be such a remarkable
Our community
institution.
in such a big way. As you said, you have been there, you have went there. I also attended there, and then to come back and be an adjunct lecturer there, the college have done so much for a community. And I think, like you said, 30 years ago, for someone to have the vision, for Honorable H. Laverty Stout to have the vision.
You know what's remarkable, though, in the speech by the Honorable Premier, one of the things he said that I thought was so captivating, he was like, if you could have understood the level of resistance that H.L. Stout and the Honorable Ralph O'Neill faced at that time when they thought of the institution, and now to see how far it's come, it just only shows you that sometimes you know, the good thing is always kind of looked at and frowned, like, what are you doing? We're not ready. We can't afford it. But look what it's turned into.
Definitely. Still ahead, RDA CEO resigns, and the people of the Virgin Islands has questions about the medical marijuana industry.
Lots of questions.
These and more stories when 284 News returns.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050. Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year. Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life,
we will live well.
Viewers, welcome back. Recently, discussions have surfaced as the government of the Virgin Islands reveal their plans to enter the medical marijuana business. The most recent conversation erupted after the Premier and Minister of Finance, Honorable Andrew Foy, appeared on a local radio show on ZBVI 780 AM. The residents of the BVI became alarmed as the Premier noted that the plan is now to speed up the establishment of the industry while maintaining transparency and accountability. In a report made by our media house, the government made an indication that their intention were to train a minimum of 40 farmers. During the premier's debut on the local talk show, he said, and I quote, "We want to be able to give the 100 of them, each of them, a half an acre of land. And this is what we are looking towards so that they now can become the captains of their own ship and destiny financially," he said. Where he mentioned 100 of them, the premier was referring to 100 trained farmers. Now, Ron, 100 farmers. Talk about full speed ahead.
Wow.
Since these developments have surfaced.
Full speed ahead, full speed to nowhere. Sorry to interrupt you, but go ahead.
Yes, so since these developments have surfaced, chatter amongst the BVI people have increased. Predictably, the people of the Virgin Islands have questions. People are asking, how will the government acquire revenue from this initiative? Will the locally produced marijuana be for local consumption only? And if it is exported, where will it be exported to? All simple but very important questions. Residents even took it a step further, inquiring why haven't the government invest their time and resources being spent on this developing industry or agricultural industry. The government stays optimistic about this initiative despite the criticisms that they have received. Ron?
Kyla, I have a few things to say about this,
Okay.
as you know. First of all, when we look at this, and we compare all the regions across the territory and the Caribbean who have stepped into this similar framework, there's a process. As in everything, there's a process.
Definitely.
And there are policies that need to be in place. We have not even gotten to a point in our territory where certain amount of cannabis is decriminalized, which means simply that you can still be locked up for having a certain amount of quantity of marijuana on you. How in God's name have we gotten to these level of conversations without doing the basic framework? And I'm not talking about community meetings. I'm not talking about, telling the people that we want to hear from you. This is ludicrous. There's no other simple way to put it. We're moving full speed ahead in something that perhaps we might not even want to experience and undertake at this magnitude.
Right. When you say that we're going full speed ahead, I definitely agree. But I think it's a lot of lip service, so to
A lot of
say.
fluff.
We aren't necessarily seeing anything put into place. It's a lot of talk.
Yep.
But are we necessarily seeing this stuff being put into the process?
It's what we call all fraught and no mobby.
So we'll have to see, and
So-
we'll really have to see where this goes and
Absolutely.
where the government takes this.
But the conversations are pretty much pointless in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. Moving right along. Yesterday, Tuesday, January 14th, news of the sudden resignation of the RDA CEO, Paul Beale, caused quite a stir throughout the territory of the Virgin Islands. In a press release, the RDA confirmed Beale's resignation by saying, and I quote, "It is with great regret that the Board of Directors of the Recovery and Development Agency has accepted the resignation of CEO Paul Beale. Since his appointment in 2018, Mr. Beale has been critical to both the establishment of the RDA and the excellent work undertaken by the agency to date. The RDA structure was designed to meet needs and ambitions of the original $600 million recovery and development plan, with a team of technical experts equipped with the skills to deliver an ambitious recovery that would be stronger, smarter, and more resilient and more sustainable, of course. Mr. Beale, with his infrastructure experience, including large-scale disaster recovery, was critical to the successful establishment of the RDA. The revised RDP has considerably reduced the scale of proposed works and projects to be implemented by the RDA than was originally anticipated when the agency was established, Mr. Beale proposed, and the board has accepted that there is no longer the same requirement for Mr. Beale's skills. He leaves the RDA well positioned to deliver the revised RDP for the government and people of the BVI. The board said they wish to thank Mr. Beale for his support to the board and leadership of the agency and wish him every success in his future endeavors. Now, Kyla, by far one of our biggest stories this week, we know since the development of the RDA, the Foy administration has raised several concerns as to the operating and handling of contracts through the RDA. And here we see Mr. Beale saying because of the large reduction in the scale of proposed works, essentially saying, I see no need for me to be here, there's nothing for me to do, and he is leaving. Now, viewers, as we look at the facts of this story, later in our newscast, we have some more opinions from prominent persons. We are going to take a very close look at some strong statements issued by Governor Jaspert on the resignation of the RDA boss, and I'll tell you this, he has quite a different story to tell on this situation. And of course, as well, we're going to take a close look at some statements by the Honorable Premier. Still ahead, Governor Jaspert scolds Foy administration over RDA boss resignation, and Premier Foy denies rumors. All this and more when 284 News returns.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
What are you really running for, boss? You could have bust a hole in your head. But see you with the competition, which means you're about to bust a hole in your pocket.
I could get my modem, please.
Anyhow, I got something huge to show you.
I gotta be sick in your head.
Well, hold on, string bean. Taking a kind of party. Check this. That's LTE1 for just about everyone. LTE2 for you and your boo. And hold on. Bam! Rate so low, you feel like you're free. That's LTE3 for you and the whole family.
Save even more on your internet with new pricing from CCT. Get LTE 2 now for only $149. Get LTE 3 for the new low price of $189. All packages are unlimited, so there's no overage charge. You don't have to run into Chaz for savings. Just stop by our store and sign up today. Come on over to CCT. Life Unlimited.
Hello?
Wait, you're the launch again? You say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
Alright, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye!
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today.
Viewers, welcome back. And as we were finishing up just before we close, as news of the RDA's CEO, Mr. Paul Beale's sudden resignation hit the territory, many persons have joined the conversation as to what exactly caused his resignation. One of those individuals is Governor of the Virgin Islands, His Excellency Augustus Jaspert, who has publicly rebuked the Foy-led government for not supporting the RDA. Governor Jaspert began his statement by saying, and I quote, "It is disappointing that Paul Beale is resigning as CEO of the Recovery and Development Agency. The RDA is incredibly important to the BVI's recovery and development, a top priority for us all, and I sincerely hope that the setback of BVI losing such an experienced and talented CEO does not hamper recovery efforts. The government of the Virgin Islands, he continued, established the Recovery and Development Agency as a dedicated agency to be focused on recovery-based and international best practice and working to the government's recovery plan. The UK government had supported the RDA since its creation by co-funding operational costs and projects such as repairing infrastructure, administration, and police buildings across our islands, and has also offered to guarantee loans up to £300 million. The hurricanes of 2017 were a terrible time for the territory. We have made progress since then, and I applaud the efforts of business communities, the public service, and the RDA on our recovery to date. Whilst we would never have wanted the devastation caused by the hurricanes, they offered us an opportunity to build back stronger, smarter, greener, better, and to become a positive example for what the island state in the region can achieve, operating to the highest standards of transparency, accountability, and good governance. Now, a very powerful statement by the governor. He continued and said, "It is disappointing that the government of the Virgin Islands has not fully given the RDA the opportunity to realize its potential. I therefore understand and sympathize with Mr. Bale's decision. It is vital that the RDA is able to build on Mr. Bale's achievements. For that, the RDA requires the full support of the Premier and his ministries so that it can work with the government to bring in funding and deliver transparency, value for money, and a full and prosperous recovery for the people of this territory." He went on to say, "I thank Mr. Bale for his leadership in creating a world-class recovery agency and his team at the RDA for all they do to support the BVI. I wish him every success in the future." Now, of course, Kyla, we had a lot more responses after that. You'll get to it in a bit, but we see some very daunting and bold statements by the governor, and he's not minced words before, and he's certainly not doing that now. He's basically essentially saying he left because you didn't support him, and we have a lot of mixed emotions.
Yes, definitely. And since the resignation of Mr. Paul Bile, Premier of the Virgin Islands, Honorable Andrew Foy, also issued a statement on his resignation. Premier Foy did address the rumors of persons insinuating that the government wasn't fully supportive of the RDA. He said, "We are pleased to say that since taking office in February 2019, our government has supported the RDA and a recovery in the best interests of the people of the Virgin Islands, and we will continue to do so. Anyone who suggests otherwise is intentionally not being factual to the people of the Virgin Islands," Ron.
Yes.
Although after his departure has come as a surprise to the government, the Premier believes this is an opportunity for a qualified BVI lender to step forward and apply for the position. According to the Premier, the government has invested in its people and our people have invested in themselves. He said, "We are therefore confident that a Virgin Island lender have the necessary skills to lead the RDA and to continue taking the Virgin Islands forward with the recovery, which is on the move. It is important to note that the government and the people of the Virgin Islands have invested more in the ongoing recovery than any other entity and will continue to do so while we welcome assistance from others," the Premier said. The government thanked him for his service and wished him the best in his future endeavors.
A very interesting chain of events that we've seen transpired since his resignation, but I find something very interesting that the Honorable Premier mentioned in now would be the time for persons, a local individual, to step up to that position. There are a couple of things I have to say about that. There are certain key positions in our territory, and they are deliberately not controlled or not held by local persons. One example would be the Director of Public Prosecutions. Being born and raised in the Virgin Islands, no matter how much of a professional you think you are, there are family ties, there are friendship ties, there are political ties. So in a position of such, you deliberately look for someone who's qualified to outsource just because of the close family-knit community that you have. I think the position of head of RDA is very similar. When you speak about handing out contracts of that magnitude, you want someone who is not familiar with the community precisely, so that there is a very unbiased
and a level of
approach,
transparency.
Very much that, a lot of transparency and authenticity. So for the Premier to say that, I find it a little bit off in that regard. I do understand that we are training locals. We have a lot of persons that go to school and come back, and sometimes they're not given an opportunity. But this is not an example of that. This is not the place or time for that, especially when you spoke so highly of making sure that projects are done timely, they're given to the right contractors. This is not one of those examples.
Right,
so
and
I think the example is a bit off.
You know, if BVI lender had, you know, go up, you know, for this job, it isn't necessarily saying that no BVI lender is qualified for the job. It's not that at all. But as you said, some positions for certain reasons, and we spoke about transparency and just, you know, that
you just don't do it.
You just don't do it. You just don't do it. Yeah, so guys, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to visit us at 284media or 284news.com. Also like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kyla Kenesha Ford.
And I'm Ron Grant. We'll see you again tomorrow as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news. Have a beautiful Wednesday evening, everybody. Bye-bye.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast, unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.
How may I assist you? Yes. You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top up or? Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch again? You say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
Alright, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today. It's been said, sticks and stones may break bones, but words don't hurt me. That could not be further from the truth. Everything you say and do creates an impact. Whether you're 13 or 30, 6 or 60, your actions and words carry weight. They either lift someone up or tear them down. 1 in 5 students ages 12 to 18 has been bullied during the school year. Approximately 160 teens have skipped school because of bullying. The most commonly reported types of bullying are verbal harassment, social harassment, physical bullying, and cyberbullying. Remember, everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about, and bullying is never okay, whether it's in a classroom or corporation. 284 Media joins the Ministry of Education of the Government of the Virgin Islands in the fight against bullying. When you see it or hear it, speak up against it. Let's end bullying.
What are you really running for, boss? You could have bust a hole in your head. But see with the competition, which means you're about to bust a hole in your pocket.
I could get my modem, please.
Anyhow, I got something huge to show you.
I gotta be sick in your head.
Hold on, string bean. Tina kind of party. Check this. That's LTE 1 for just about everyone. LTE 2 for you and your boo. And hold on. Bam! Rate so low, you feel like you're free. That's LTE 3 for you and the whole family.
Save even more on your internet with new pricing from CCT. Get LTE 2 now for only $149. Get